Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the G.I. Joe retro figure Stalker. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at him in packaging, and we're going to take a look at the figure and his accessories, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on him. And just remember, if you do like this video, go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. Alright, so here he is in packaging. I love the packaging for these retro figures. I love that they're on this old school style card back. So you got your choking hazards here, your age restriction, G.I. Joe right there, his name. Let's bring it around this way so you can see that a little bit better. You get this nice picture of the figure himself, which I really do like that. And then you get this open window here where you get to see him, all his accessories, spinning around this way. All right. You get a file card, which I love about this line is that you actually start getting file cards again. Everybody that's part of this wave, and you get your legal underneath. So with all that being said, spin him around this way. Let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is out of packaging. I like the overall look to him. He definitely has that classic Stalker look from the first wave of G.I. Joes from the 80s. So he has that classic camouflage pattern, very much similar to the original figure. So first off, we're going to start with the rotation. So we have this side. Got your back. This side and back to the front. Now there's not a whole lot of standout detail to this figure, but we're going to take a close look at him anyway. So first off, I love the head sculpt. I love the detail to his hairline. If you look over here, you can see it looks like a scar across his head, which is really neat. That once again adds character to him. All right, his facial features match very well with the original figure and so forth. Like I said earlier, the camo pattern matches the original figure. He does have this harness here with a grenade launcher and a knife that is actually part of the harness, which I'm not too sure that I like that. With the original classified figures, everything used to come off, so like something like this would actually come off, but instead it's part of the harness. I'm not too sure that I'm really hip with that, but I've been noticing that with some of the newer figures. All right, on this side here, he has a holster for the gun and also the muzzle blast. And then on this side, he has a holster for the knife. So detail-wise, there's nothing really that spectacular to him, but once again, he is based off of the original figures, and the original figures didn't have all that much high detail, so it works very well with this particular figure. So now that we looked him over, let's start looking at his points of articulation. So first off, the head does move. All right. You got a shoulder joint with a swivel. Hold up, get that swivel moving. There it is. All right. You got an elbow joint, and you have a wrist joint. Right? You do have a joint right here under the ribs that gives you back and forth motion, and then you have a joint at the belt line. All right, spin them around to this side. You have a thigh joint with a swivel. Okay. You have your knee joints. Ooh, these are tight. There it goes. All right, you have a swivel at the top of the boot. And then last but not least, you have an ankle joint. All right. So he has all the basic points of articulation like most of your Joe figures for the classified and retro line. Also, I got him standing here like this. Here. He also comes with this nice display piece here. I like the factor that the classic figures come with this. You know, it makes it better to display them and what have you. So he fits on there pretty well. So all his points of articulation move very well. There are a couple of tight joints. All right. So now let's start taking a look at his accessories. So first off, he does come with his iconic beret. All right. Has the two medals on here as well, which gives it a nice sense of pop. All right. Next off, he has his heavy assault machine gun. All right. Now it has a belt feed clip here that does pop off, just like that. And then it pops on just as easily. All right. As you can see. All right. Next off, he has his small assault rifle, which I think is similar to either Dukes or Fireflies. I'm not 100% sure on that. The clip does pop out of it. All right. And pops back in with no issues. All right. Next, he has a pistol with, I believe this is a muzzle suppressor. All right. And that just pops right off. Okay. Back in there. All right. He does come with a knife. Okay. And he also comes with a holster for the small assault rifle. So now that we looked at everything, let's see how well this stuff fits with them. So first off is the beret. Pops on really nice. Don't have any issues with that. All right. Next, we're going to do the pistol and knife. Okay. Finger in there. All right. So it does fit in his hand. No issues. If you play around with it for a minute, you will be able to get that finger in there. All right. Next up is his knife. All right. So that fits it in hand pretty well. Don't have any issues with that. All right. So now let's put the knife in its holster. All right. So that went in without no issues. All right. Next will be the gun and suppressor. All right. So that fits in there. And now for this, that way. That's a little bit of a tight fit. There it goes. Okay. So as you see, both the gun and its part does fit in there pretty well. This is a little tight. You might have to work it a little bit, maybe even add a little bit of heat, but it does fit there. All right. Now we have the two guns. All right. Boom. That fits on there very nicely. No issues. And I was actually able to get the finger into the trigger. All right. Now let's take this off. Put this onto the back. There's a oops. Sorry about that. There's a peg right here. It just hooks in right into the back. Like this. All right. Now you have to take the clip out of the gun for it to fit in this holster. It just slides in there really nice. With no issues. All right. Now this looks like this is also a tight fit. All right. Those. All right, so that's a bit of a tight fit, but it does work. All right. And then last but not least, you got your heavy assault rifle here. That finger in there. All right, able to get the finger into there as well. Now, because this is a larger gun, let's see if we could do a two-hand with this. It might be a little bit hard just because of how his arms are designed. But I always like to see these bigger guns get a two-hand. There we go. Okay. Oops. All right, so you can also get a two-handed hold as well. You know, you'll have to play with it a little bit to get it into a better position, but he does do it. So overall, everything seems to fit very well with this figure. Didn't have any major issues. Some things are tight fit, like the clip here and then the suppressor. But other than that, everything seems to work very well with this figure. So my final thoughts on this figure is I like this figure. I think he's a very good looking figure. He does capture the look from the original Stalker, plus also giving a couple modern tweaks to him to make him look, you know, a little bit more updated as well. So overall, he looks great. I do like the look of this figure. All his joints work very well. I don't have any problems with his points of articulation. And all his accessories fit very well with him as well. The only things I had minor issues with is getting the clip onto the carrying case for his rifle and getting the suppressor into its spot. So maybe you may want to use just a little bit of heat just to soften that plastic up just a little bit to get them in there. But other than that, great figure. Highly recommend him to go with the rest of your Joe collectibles and what have you. So with that being said, I hope you all did like this video. If you did, go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.